Hello everyone. The topic which we are going to study in this video is inheritance in Java. It is a story about a Java developer Anna who wanted to open her own cafe and her journey from writing code to cooking food. The first thing she decided for her cafe was this menu. Have a look at it. Does it look a little weird to you? Maybe, but for a Java developer, this is the most natural approach because it is using Java inheritance. Let's try to understand. So, Anna knew that she needed some beverages for her cafe, and it could be of two types, hot beverage and cold beverage. In hot beverage, she decided to have coffee and tea, and similarly, for each and every category, she decided different items. Now, in this menu, each item at lower level is related to the item at higher level using is-a relationship. So in Java, when classes are related to each other using is-a relationship, we use Java inheritance. And the classes at lower level become subclasses and those at higher level becomes superclasses. So here, coffee is a hot beverage. So coffee is a subclass of superclass hot beverage. Hot beverage is a beverage. Coffee is also a beverage. So coffee is related to both hot beverage as well as beverage. And it can go on till multiple levels. So you can actually add iced tea and lemon tea below tea. Now let's write some code to understand this. I am going to create the classes we just discussed. So we will have a beverage class and hot beverage class, and finally the most important class, coffee class. So our classes are ready, but how can we relate these classes? By using extends keyword. So in Java, by using extends keyword, you can say that hot beverage is a subclass of beverage class, or coffee extends hot beverage, and that means that coffee is hot beverage. That is fine. But why do we need inheritance? Why do we need such kind of a structure? Just imagine if in future Anna wants to add a new item to her cafe, what all information she needs to know? The quantity which she will be serving, the price of the item, and the recipe of the item. So these three things act as a protocol or a checklist using which a new item will be added to the menu, right? Similarly in Java, the superclass acts as a protocol for all the subclasses. So in a superclass beverage, you can define the properties and the behavior which will be inherited by all the subclasses. Let's see how. So in the beverage class, we know every beverage will have a property, quantity, and another property, price, and it will have a method getPrice which will return price. Simple, right? And now the most important method, print recipe, because without recipe any item is incomplete, right? So at this stage, beverage is a superclass which is defining the properties using these variables and the behavior using these methods which will be inherited by all the subclasses. Simple. But the thing is, at this stage, we do not know the implementation of print recipe method. So in Java, is it possible to have methods without implementation? Well, Anna was a Java developer, so she has the answer. Abstract keyword. So we can use abstract keyword with a method which does not have any implementation but which act as a protocol for all the subclasses. So by creating this definition, we are trying to tell that any subclass which is going to inherit beverage class will have the implementation to print recipe method, although we do not have any implementation at this stage. Any class which has got one or more abstract methods needs to be declared as abstract abstract class. Now we know that we cannot create a coffee without a recipe, right? Similarly, this class is an abstract class. The implementation is not complete. We do not have any recipe yet. So there is no point in creating an object of this class. So we cannot instantiate an abstract class. But enough about the superclasses. Let's move on to subclass now. So our first subclass was hot beverage class. Now, like any other simple class, this can have its own properties as well as methods. So I'm adding method print info to it. Apart from this, a subclass also inherits fields and methods from the superclass. So inside this thing, we can print price or quantity just like we can print temperature. So we can use price as if it has been defined inside the class hot beverage. This is because hot beverage is inheriting this particular property from beverage class. Same holds true for the methods as well. So you can use getPrice as if you have defined it inside this class itself because of inheritance. We can change the behavior of any method which has been defined in the superclass. For example, we had defined a method getPrice in the superclass beverage, right? If you want to change the behavior of this particular method, then you can create a method with same name and signature, and you can make the changes inside to change the implementation. So here I am adding some discount to the price. So this is known as overriding in Java when you change the implementation of a method defined in superclass in a subclass. Finally, you might have to declare a subclass as abstract class because hot beverage is inheriting an abstract method print recipe from beverage class. So either it needs to give some implementation to this method, or you can simply say that this is also an abstract class. That means you cannot create an object of hot beverage. Now, finally, Anna found a cook for her cafe and she can start her cafe. So it's time to make some coffee. Let's see how we can make coffee in Java. So this is our coffee class which extends hot beverage class. At this stage, we know that what would be the recipe, or we can say that we know that what would be the implementation of print recipe method. So you can create this method and add some implementation. Since your implementation is ready, this class is not an abstract class and you can create an object of this class as well. So if you do this, it is fine. Such classes are known as concrete classes and it implements all the abstract methods which were defined in the parent class. Now, coffee class can inherit from both beverage class as well as hot beverage class. So you can actually use this object and can use price or quantity which was defined in the beverage class, and you can also use temperature which was defined in the hot beverage class. So you have access to the properties which were defined in beverage class as well as hot beverage class, and same thing is true for the methods as well. So you can use print info which was defined in the hot beverage class. Simple, right? Finally, one final point, sometimes there could be same methods in multiple parent classes. For example, getPrice is there in hot beverage as well as beverage. So the question is, which one will coffee inherit? Let's see. So if I print getPrice, let's see what will be the result. If you see, it is printing the discounted price. So that means it is using the method which was defined in the hot beverage class. And this is because a class always inherits from the nearest parent. So that's all for now, and I hope you would have got a good understanding of the basics of inheritance of Java. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Bye-bye.